Explanation of symbols on worksheets are as follows. Use coloring crayons to color the picture. Use your finger to follow the track or line or show the correct picture. Use a coloring crayon to draw a line or write a number or sound. Look at the picture and say the number or sound out loud. Use a scissors to cut on the dotted line. Look at the picture. Use these symbols for the lesson of the day, which will be allocated at the top right side of each page. For example, Lesson 1, Prepositions and Directions. Hello and welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa and thank you so much for joining me. Our theme for this week is special occasions. And before we get into our first lesson, it's very important for us to sanitize. And when we sanitize, make sure that you sanitize both of your hands, go inside and outside and on your wrists. Make sure that your hands are dry before you touch anything else. It's also very important to check our social distancing by putting your hands to the side and in front of you. Well done. Our lesson today is about counting. Before we get into our first exercise, you can see that I'm holding a box here. And on our first exercise on page 3, they also have boxes. Each box has a number on it, and it is our job to fill in the missing numbers. Now, we all know that we know how to count by now, but let's just count up to 10 together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now you can see that there are some missing numbers that need to be put in the boxes. So let us try and fill those boxes in together. Let's take a look at the board. We are going to use our number line to help us fill in the missing boxes. The first one is 1. And then the missing box or the missing number is the number 2. I would like you to please write the number 2. Well done. Remember to take your time when you're writing so that you don't make any mistakes. Let's move to the next box. It has the number 3 in it. And we are moving to the next one. That one is blank. And the number you should put in there is the number 4. Can you please write your 4? Very good. Let's move on to the next one. They have given us number 5, number 6, and the next missing number is the number 7. I'd like you to please write the number 7. Very good, my children. Let's move on to number 8. And number 9 is missing. May you please write the number 9. The rest, I'm sure, you can do by yourselves. Remember, it's okay for you to count and check your answers. You can start from the first box, number 1, going all the way down until you are able to complete all the boxes. Let's go to the next page, page 4. On page 4, they have asked us to look at the numbers in the center and write one less on the left-hand side and one more on the right-hand side. You can see that they have given us an example, and it looks like this is a school where the bus is leaving. So we are going to help the school fill in those numbers by putting one less on the left-hand side and one more on the right-hand side. Let's start with the one less. Let's take a look at the board. As you can see, I have my left-hand side and my right-hand side. And we have our first number, number 5, just like in your booklets. On our left side, which is the left-hand side, if we have one less from 5, one less from 5 is 4. Just like on our number line, 1 less 5 is 4. And let's take a look at 8. Remember, we are starting from the left-hand side so that we don't get confused. If we look at 8 on our number line and we're saying 1 less than 8, that means our answer is the number 7. May you please write the number 7. There we go. Let's move on to number 2. What is 1 less than 2? If we look at 2, our less than is the number 1. If you guessed that one right, well done. I would like you to please write the number 1. Well done, my clever children. Now let us look at the number 7. So you go to the number 7 and you say 1 less than the number 7. So that's moving backwards to the number 6. If you got that one right, very good. Let's write the number 6 together. Remember, when you're writing, try and take your time so that you don't make any mistakes and your numbers come out perfectly. Let's take a look at one more now. Now, one more means that we are adding one more. So we are taking a step forward. If you can see your number 5, if we take a step forward and count one more, we have number 6. And we have our number 6 here on the right-hand side. Let's try and do 8. We know that 1 less is 7. So if we were to count 7, 8, the next number would be 9. So I'd like you to please write the number 9. Did you get that one correct? Well done. Let's move to the next one. Here we have the number 2. And remember, we're counting on and we're writing on the right-hand side. So it's 1, 2. If we add one more, it becomes 3. So I'd like you to please write the number 3. Remember, when you're writing, take your time so that your numbers will come out beautifully. Let us now move on to the next one. The next number is 7. So what is one number more than 7? We can count 6, 7, 8. So let us write the number 8. Very good. If you're getting these correct, good job. I'm very, very proud of you. So by now, your work should look like my work. And I've only done a few because I want you to try the rest by yourselves at home. Remember, 1 less means that we are stepping backwards. And you're writing it on the left-hand side where the example has been given for you. And 1 more means that we're going forward, which means that you are counting on and adding 1 more number. Make sure that you check your work by trying to count. For example, 7, 8, 9. I hope you do this by yourselves and you can use your fingers if you'd like as well. Good luck and enjoy yourselves. I hope you enjoyed all that counting and that you finished your work on time. Remember, when you are writing your numbers, please take your time so that you don't make any mistakes. Now let's turn to our next exercise on page 5. On page 5, we can see that there is a classroom there, and we have so many different things on the table and around the table. But before we do this exercise, let's take a look at our classroom and see what we have. In your book, you can see that there's a chair, and we have a chair as well. There is also crayons in your book, and we also have crayons as well. We have a pair of scissors in our classroom. There it is. Yes, there it is. Remember, when you're holding a pair of scissors, make sure that you have an adult with you so that you do not hurt yourself. We also have a couple of pens in our classroom, and we even have the desk, the board, and we have some books as well. Here they are. And we even have a trash can or a bin. Let's take a look at our exercise to see what we can do and find. We are supposed to find the things that are in the classroom and then count each item that we find. Let's do the first 3 things together. The first thing that it's asking you to find is a chair. How many chairs do we have? I can see 1. If you guessed 1, well done. I'd like you to write the number 1 in the box next to the chair underneath. Well done. The next thing that we are being asked to look for and count is a stapler. Now, a stapler is used to put papers together. Can you see a stapler on the teacher's table? Yes, I can see 1 stapler. So I'd like you to write the number 1 in the box. The next item we're being asked to look for is the bin or the trash can. Can you see a trash can? Yes, I can see a trash can, very similar to the one that we have in our class. And I'd like you to write the number 1. Wonderful. Let's count the pens. You can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pens. I want you to count them again just to check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we are going to write the number 5 for the pens. And the rest, I'm sure, you can do by yourselves. Remember, when you find the items, I want you to count out loud. Use your finger to point at each item and double check with your eyes. And make sure that when you are done, you have finished every item that is there. And also, if you have time, you can color them as well. Good luck and enjoy yourselves. I hope you managed to find everything on the table as well as to count everything correctly. Now let us take a look at the next page on page 6. On page 6 we can see that there is a beautiful girl and a handsome boy, and there are books all around them. Your job is to count the books. But before we count their books, let's count the books here that we have. On our board, we have a stack of books, and I want us to count them together. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 books. Well done if you were counting with me. Now let us write the number 7. Remember, when you're writing, make sure your handwriting is neat so that we can see what you are writing. So it is your job to make sure that you complete the exercise and count all of the books. I want you to please use your finger as you are counting and say it out loud as well if you want to. And this is the last exercise for today. I hope you enjoyed yourselves, and remember, when we're done with any exercises, we're supposed to sanitize. And the reason why we sanitize is to make sure that no germs get on our hands. And when you're done sanitizing, make sure that your hands are dry before you touch anything else. It's also very important for you to check your social distancing by putting your hands by your side and in front of you. Well done. And I want to ask if my special friend is around today. Hello, Zoe, are you here today? Oh, there she is. So, from Zoe and I, we would like to say goodbye.